इसका क्या रिव्यू देने का, एटॉमिक है, हैबिट है, सब इसी पे होगा, राइट? सो रिव्यू स्टार्ट्स आफ्टर दैट. Atomic is something which can be broken to the smallest possible energy giving source, and habits is something which you positively do it repeatedly to get something out of it, right? So today I want to share a quick and powerful book review that has literally changed lives of millions about success and self improvement. It is Atomic Habits by James Clear. उनका नाम ही क्लियर है. So you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. जैसे एक यूनिवर्स है, I always believe this, कि जैसे अपने बाहर एक दुनिया है वैसे ही अपने अंदर एक दुनिया है. So this atomic habit somewhere talks about what you do with yourself inside. Success is not a goal to reach or a finish line to cross. It is a system to improve and endless process which always needs refinement. So who all think that you are successful? Because successful is not a finish line के वहाँ पहुँच गए. It is a state of mind. मैंने आज ये goal set किया है. If I attained, I'll set another goal. So you are ongoing, and that is why success is like a sky. You cannot attain it. It is just that you have to find a way to get yourself 1% better each day. ना ज़्यादा ना कम. It doesn't need to be something very radical, or it doesn't need to be very huge. But habits are very easy to be overlooked. ठीक है? Like आज अपन बुक पढ़ रहे, अगर नहीं भी पढ़ते तो क्या हो गया? Similarly, आज मैं घर का खाना खाऊंगी और कोई बंदा ऐसा है जो जंक खाएगा, क्योंकि नहीं भी खाया घर का तो क्या हो गया? Because when you're going to sleep, आप मिरर में सेम दिखने वाले हो, एंड आपका वेइंग स्केल पे आप सेम वजन के होने वाले हो. बट द पावर ऑफ कंपाउंडिंग, वेदर इट इज गुड और बैड, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ऑफ 2, 5 और 10 years इट विल कंपाइल, एंड तब आपको दिखेगा. सो इफ योर हैबिट्स आर गुड, द टाइम विल वर्क एज योर एली, एंड इफ योर हैबिट्स आर बैड, your time will work as your enemy. It is only that your habits have to be compounded. If it is better or worse, it will be fully apparent after a period of time. Build good habits, break old habits, and design an environment that supports the success. So now, how many of you do you think that success comes from motivation? Fast, मेरे पास time limit है. No. How many do you think that success comes from discipline? Everyone? Even I was that, but this book has made a difference over there. If motivation is lesser than discipline, then there is something which is greater than discipline. आज book reading हम लोग वहाँ बैठ के भी कर सकते हैं, but we created this environment. We created something, this lights, this green tea, and this music is an environment. So आप कितने भी talented हो, आप में कितना भी हुनर कूट के भरा है, but you do not have an environment, it will not happen. If you are disciplined, तो भी it will not happen. So the takeaway, the biggest takeaway for me, this was written in 2018. I had read this in 2018. So the biggest thing is you have to design an environment that supports you. So unfortunately, we are living in a society which is focused on the outcome. So आपको outcome success का कहाँ दिखना चाहिए? Visibly. वो बैंक बैलेंस हो सकता है, या तो बच्चे हो गए तो वो अपने स्कोर कार्ड्स हो सकते हैं, या तो फिर जो ऑलरेडी कंपनी जनरेशन से है उनको 2 कंपनी हो जानी चाहिए. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज वी आर नॉट फोकसिंग ऑन द एटॉमिक आवरसेल्फ. इवन इफ यू आर टैलेंटेड, you can succeed, but without having, you still are successful, right? You have lots of companies, right? But still उसके sustaining के लिए you are not sitting at home. You are doing something new every day. So you have to have a greater habit which can keep you consistent. जैसे वहीदा ने बोला, fruit has seed, and वो seed को डालो तो you can have more fruits. We think that things need to be changed, but eventually the things need to change are the habits. So the success के पहले जो habit आता है वो change होना चाहिए, क्योंकि success is an outcome and which is a daily basis. So one day at a time, 1% is it at a time. How do we calculate that? So all of you have your phones, open the calculators. What is 1 to the power exponential 365? 1:2 is 1, ऐसे 1:365 होगा तो क्या होगा 1. Similarly 1.1:365 करो.
So it will go to a huge number.
Yes, even your computer is blabbered, your calculator is blabbered. So don't go for huge also, don't ignore also. Do 1.01 on your calculator with an exponential of 365. So it will be, to be precise, 337.78, right? So if you are a 100% person, if you are only 1% improvement daily, so 31st of December 2026, you will be 37 times better version of yourself. We think that the things that need to be changed are outside us, but we have to do a little bit portion every day. They are the portions of your life that can influence yourself. You can be the architect of your own habits rather than you be the victim of your habits. So जैसे एक सिक्के के दो sides होते हैं, good and bad, वैसे ही अगर ये लोग power of compounding बोलते हैं, they always talk about the power of compounding of your savings, right? If I'm not wrong. But nobody is talking the power of compounding of your debts. अगर आपका डेथ है and if that is compounding, that is taking you a huge loss. So जितना प्लस है उतना माइनस भी है. सिमिलरली आपके रूटीन में एक छोटी सी भी बैड हैबिट होगी, इट कैन कंपाउंड टू व्हाट. अगर कोई हैबिट नहीं होगी तो इज ओके, यू आर देयर स्टेगनेंट. बट इफ यू इम्प्रूव, सो यू हैव टू लर्न व्हाट यू डोंट हैव. So you are doing something every day. So if you have to change, you have to find out what you have to do so that you make a better version of yourself. The things that are on your desk influence your behavior. If you are going to reconstruct your physical environment, then you are more likely to actually stick with the right habits. But the question is, what are those one or two things which you need to change so that वो आपको rest of the life खींच के लेके चला जाए? There is only one thing which can, on that which you can survive. But why we need to do this thing? जैसे अपने जो वेद, अपने जो पुरानी स्टोरीज है, बड़े बड़े ऋषि भी तप करते थे. दे यूज्ड टू गेट डिस्ट्रैक्टेड. मेनका आ गई, ये आ गई, वो गई, whatever. So even nowadays we have a lot of distractions, biggest of which is mobiles and laptops. If you are doing something, एक notification आया and your mind is out of track. You start scrolling your reels and you are stuck in that. So you are defocused. So to stay focused, you have to have your habits. So you are just to build that one habit and known that there is not going to be any side effect but only the good effects of that habit. Every action you take is like a vote you give to yourself for the type of person you want to become. People always need more practical help with implementing their habits. सबको पता है ये अच्छी है, ये बुरी आदत है, but उसको करना, to start is more important. So the James Clear ने ये बोला है कि you have the different strategies, you have different tools, but उसको कैसे use करना है is all given in this book. The most important principle of which is, probably the single most important principle is building the habits. How? It is about mastering the art of getting started. So ये जो tools है and strategies है, which is I'm going to give you the pamphlet of, उसमें the law of behavioral changes दिया हुआ है and the formula for which is very simple. It has 4 simple rules जो आपकी habit में आपको help करेगा. Cue, craving, response and reward. What is a cue? Cue मतलब that एक ऐसा होता है ना जो बच्चे को एक क्यूरियस है, मेरे को ये करना है, उसको नहीं पता क्यों करना है. So the cue is like a clue, you can take it. So that cue should be obvious. So आप अपने आप पे इतना harsh ना हो. Let that cue be very obvious for yourself. And the craving. So वो हैबिट को करने के लिए उसको एक ऑब्वियस रीजन दो कि मुझे ये हैबिट क्यों करनी है. देन यू मेक इट अ क्रेविंग. सो यू हैव टू गिव सम आइडियाज लाइक अपने आप को कैसे वो चीज़ को अट्रैक्टिव बनाए. जैसे आपको बुक पढ़नी है, सो हाउ द क्यू इज रीडिंग द बुक. नाउ हाउ यू हैव टू मेक इट ऑब्वियस. जैसे मैं सोने के टाइम पे बुक पढ़ूंगा तो पुट इट नियर योर पिलो. सो इट इज़ विजिबल टू यू. सो आप कभी या तो बुक उठाओगे एंड एक पन्ना पढ़ने का ही डिसिप्लिन बनाओ. Craving, make it attractive. So keep it near your lamp side. The last thing you do is switch off your phone and put it. तो जहाँ फोन रखते हो वहाँ बुक रखो कि मैं ये जहाँ रख रहा हूँ वहाँ से मैं बुक उठा लूँगा. Response should not be very difficult. It should be very easy. So make the response easy so that you don't feel that you are doing something extra, but you are doing it. And the reward should be satisfying. So जैसे आपका क्यों है कि मेरे को एक बुक पढ़नी है, मेरे को आज एक ही पन्ना पढ़ना है, उसको कैसे अट्रैक्टिव बनाओगे? आपने आपके डेस्क पे या पिलो पे रखा एंड देन यू मेक इट लुक अट्रैक्टिव कि हाँ भाई, लास्ट थिंग आई डू इज, मैनी पीपल हैव द हैबिट ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग मिल्क. हाँ, तो मैं दूध पीते पीते ये बुक पढ़ूंगी. सो यू हैव टू गिव योर सेल्फ और आइडियाज. वो अप ओके. सो जो गुड पार्ट है, सो सिमिलरली द बैड पार्ट का हैबिट्स है. अगर बैड हैबिट्स के लिए सेम अप्लाई करना है, सो यू विल हैव टू मेक द क्यू इनविजिबल. इफ यू आर स्मोकिंग, सिगरेट का डब्बा दिखना ही नहीं चाहिए. क्रेविंग, इट शुड बी अनअट्रैक्टिव. द रिस्पॉन्स शुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट एंड द रिवॉर्ड शुड बी अनसेटिस्फाइंग. So the one of the biggest takeaway from this is it is easier to build a new habit if you stack up with an ongoing habit already. जैसे आप रोज सुबह उठ के रूम क्लीन करते हो एंड आपका नया हैबिट है मेडिटेशन करना. सो आप ये मत करो कि मुझे मेडिटेशन करना, आप ये करो कि मैं रूम साफ करने के बाद 1 मिनट मेडिटेशन करूंगी. सो यू आर स्टैकिंग अप विद ऑलरेडी हैपनिंग थिंग, तो वो आपके बर्डन नहीं बनेगा. दूसरा, what is interesting is how little on the edge you need to get for the advantage. You just need to be okay with little of inconvenience or uncomfortable for 5 to 10 minutes. कुछ चीज़ करने में और नहीं करने में वही हिचकिच जो होती है ना कि मैं करूँ या ना करूँ, वो अगर आपने सर्वाइव कर लिया, then you will always be the winner. Like getting dressed and reaching the clinic, ये मेरा रूटीन है. वो उसके बीच में जो भी हर्डल्स आते हैं, वो ट्रैफिक हो, वेदर हो, बारिश हो, दैट इज ऑल इज द इनकन्वीनियंस विच वी हैव टू. सो मेरे को, मेरा क्लिनिक इज माई पैशन, सो मैं कैसे भी करके जाऊंगी. सो वो आपको ट्रेन करना है. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट you can handle those 5 to 10 minutes, then you can master that little moments, then you can achieve whatever you want. For my personal example दूँ तो I used to go to Zumba. बहुत बारिश था, but then 7 o'clock का टाइम था, I reached there. To my surprise, the trainer didn't come. So I gave up on that trainer only. If that person is not dedicated, I'll not go. So the simple thing is you have to show up. अगर वो मेरे में है तो मैं और बेहतर चीज़ें कर सकती हूँ. If you want to execute and perform at a higher level, it's not about being perfect, but it's being consistent. Reach your goals by designing better habits. No matter what goals you are trying to achieve, but break that goal into smaller pieces and focus on repeating that small habits every day. It's actually this act of repetition of small habits that is going to lead you towards the ultimate goal. So एक simple भाषा में बताऊँ तो आपने आइसबर्ग, टाइटैनिक वाला आइसबर्ग सबने देखा है. So the peak of the iceberg is your success and goal. But नीचे कितना बड़ा है? So that is something. For a good habit, time is your ally. For bad habit, it is your enemy. So आइसबर्ग के नीचे जितना ब्रॉड है, that is your minute small habits which is compiling to become the apex of your success. So done. So I'm wrapping up. Last 1 minute. Atomic Habits is not about the massive overnight success. Why this book? It's all about power of consistency, the science of small vibing things and giving you small wins, art of becoming the best version of yourself, and one tiny step at a time can build a long journey. If you haven't read this book, please do. If you have already read it again, because every time you read, it will hit differently. So my rating to this book is 9 out of 5. Because मेरे को थोड़ा और spoon feeding चाहिए था. Because this book doesn't just motivate you, it gives you a practical framework to change your life and your business as well. So let's, as a family, let us make small habits. New Year आ रहा है, resolution में भी काम आएगा. So yeah, I'll hand over these things to you.